welcome to the Shining Red Dot 9th episode. This is Aziza Jalaluddin, and I'm so glad that we have crossed the mark of 9 episodes, and on the 10th episode that's happening tomorrow is the live episode where we're going to do a live telecast of the book launch, the actual book launch happening in Singapore. For those who have RSVP to us, you would have received our invitation because this is by invitation, registration and by invitation only. For those who want to watch the live show, please log in your name and give us your name and email address so we can send you the telecast link so that you can watch it online. Once again, thank you so much for being part of this show. As you know, this show is about the Shining Red Dot book, and in conjunction with the launch of the Shining Red Dot book, inspired by our nation, our mentors, as well as the various parts of life being a Singaporean. We are Singaporeans, Singapore permanent residents and foreigners who have come together to make this book happen so that people get valuable information, tips, tools, and strategies. It's an interactive resource book where we cover entrepreneurship education, connection, effective connection, and value-added funding. And it's an interactive resource book because as a book host in the book, I will be guiding you through a process of understanding the various aspects of going global. And very interestingly, we have practical exercises that you can take on and do to take steps, very, very powerful steps for you to go global as well. So now that's about the book. Remember to pre-order the book at the link below. Now let's get on with the show. So it's a good culmination of these episodes that we have put online for you to view. And I am very, very confident that when you have watched all of them, you would have some very powerful tips, tools, and strategies and most of all, inspiration to grow your business into global market. And you would also have identified that we have a powerful team of global business leaders who are, at your service to take you into that journey through global entrepreneurship, education, awesome connections, effective connections, as well as value-added funding. And today's episode, as always, we have our founding father, Kuan Yew segment. And then with that, we're going to have also our Buckminster Fuller, our mentors, some of his interesting clips. Today's segment, we have a very special guest that we have a video clip of, and the other two are our co-authors that will be sharing some of the insights into going global, as well as the power of collaboration. So let's get on with the show right now. In this segment of our founding father, Lee Kuan Yew's clip, you're going to have some very exciting, it could be something that you have seen before, but it's always worth it to have it reminded to us again. Now let's look at that clip.
Whoever governs Singapore must have that iron in him, or give it up. This is not a game of cards. This is your life and mine. I've spent a whole lifetime building this. And as long as I'm in charge, nobody's going to knock it down.
So that was a clip taken, and we would love to leave the special mentions. And speaking about this clip, it is very, very inspiring. Many of you would have heard it, but just think about this. It's to have the iron in us. And that's so powerful. I mean, talking about having that strength, that stamina, and to really make it work. And imagine when you are doing your business and you have this strength in you, that you just have to make it happen, and you will go about making the necessary actions, the necessary corrections so that you can take it forward to the next level in your life. So nobody can take it down unless we give them permission to. So, and also all these conversations about taking full responsibility for the result we create. I trust you love and you are completely inspired by the various clips that we shared in this series of Shining Red Dot. This next segment that we're going to be covering is with our dearest mentor, Dr. Wong Jeh Shyan. Dr. Wong is the founder of the Miracles of Capital. Last episode, you heard Keeping speak about investment portfolios and becoming a bankable, otherwise known as investable business. He did this speech with addressing a group of Indian entrepreneurs some time back, and I was very blessed to be in the space, and I got this for you, especially for you. Dr. Wong is not one of the co-authors of this segment, but I would love to have his vision shared because he is our dearest mentor who has really impacted our life in expanding the way that we look at investable business, a capital market, as well as how to make our business more global. Let's look at what he had to share on globalization and taking your business into becoming investable.
I'm not talking about listing here. I'm just saying that you're going to build very good companies. Companies that are listable. You know, many of us build companies that are very probably feasible, but unfortunately they are not bankable. So what's bankability? When you build companies that comply to good standards, so we take something as a benchmark. Listability, you can list a company, that's a good benchmark. And listable company means company that can comply to Companies Act. How many of you here actually download Companies Act and read it before you actually start your own business? Very few. Now, we all jump into business one way or another, sometimes because we have no choice. Not that because we have made a conscious choice, it's just that we have no choice. And we accepted that become our career. Maybe it is time for us to relook into how capital mechanism operates. Now, what you're doing is fine. Don't attempt to change that. So what you're doing now is market mechanism. You're doing your trading, you're doing your software, you're building your apps, app, it's fine. But on top of what you're doing, let me propose that we are going to map another layer on top of you, the capital mechanism. I have this interesting conversation with some of the entrepreneurs. I talked to Aziza the other day, and she said that, you know, maybe if we can select a few good companies from India, say, and map in capital mechanism, chances of them to list in the London Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange is so much greater than a company that worked very hard with no sense of direction. I think Aziza was correct. You will be working very hard on the market mechanism, but it's not going to bring you anywhere. And maybe it's time for us to relook how capital mechanism can affect our company, the strategy directions, as well as the valuation of the company. And I hope someday you'll sit down and redesign the company. Thank you very much.
So I am sure this would have really opened your mind to the context of investable business and how we can work towards making capital mechanism a part of our very important part of our growth segment of our business into global market, and make capital mechanism a very important segment of our globalization model for business growth in Asia. Now moving forward with our next segment. This segment, as always, is my favorite too, as it is yours, I was guessing, because we are speaking about segment is on wealth. And I love this particular video that he did. The volume may not be very clear, but we do have words at the end of each small part so you can understand more. So let's look at today's segment.
I demonstrate what is wealth. Wealth is combines the physical and the metaphysical, the mind capability and the physical capability. The physical consists entirely of energy, energy associated with matter, energy associated with radiation. One convertible in the other. We know that no energy can be created, no energy can be lost, so the energy content of wealth cannot be lost. The metaphysical, the know-how side, every time you make an experiment, you always learn more, you can't learn less. Know-how always and only increases, and the physical cannot decrease. So wealth can only increase. Wealth can only increase.
So take on that momentum of wealth being a state of your being and explore its expansion in your life too. Now let's move on to the next segment with one of our interesting ladies. So this amazing lady, Sona Pandey, this is a small clip that I managed to get from her when we were doing the interview last with her. I loved it, and I would love to play this for you because in this segment, she talks about collaboration and how the power of collaboration can bring about more effective growth together for SMEs. Come, let's listen to her sharing.
Hello everyone, wish you all a very happy National Day, and I'm really excited to say something about the business and business peoples. For business people, what is important? The important thing is we should be together, we should be collaborative. If we are together, then definitely we all will grow and we all can win the world with our business, and we all can grow our business all over the world. So pleasure to be the part of Shining Red Dot book and to work as a co-author on that. Shining Red Dot book is really a very good inspiration for all the business peoples and the peoples who want to start their business and spread their business in global market. So it is really, really very inspiring for them, and my suggestion is to all business people to read this book at least once.
I love what Sona said about for SMEs, and I would love that we all consider that regardless of language, race or religion, to come together and explore the possibilities that we can create in Singapore, from Singapore and through Singapore. So let's move on now to the next segment. And this segment, as we all know, is the interview segment. You have heard Lottie Hearn before. She is our UK friend who has been recently on board our co-authors team. She's a specialist in creating a confident presence in front of the camera, and she had some very powerful tips. So let me just put you through to her and be ready to absorb some wonderful tips for your camera presence.
Everybody get up. I love to help people learn how that you can overcome any fears or concerns that you might have about jumping on camera, being seen on screen, hashtag be seen on screen, so that you can actually learn and develop your skills and your own style to present your biz story and share your biz story, whether that be for a business, whether it be for a community, whether it be as a teacher, an educator, a trainer. That's how I help my customers and clients all around the world to be seen and share how they help people shine in their worlds.
Yes. That is so beautiful, and it's so important nowadays, especially with all these, various technologies coming up, and you are putting out some amazing platforms that, like Be Live and wow, so many stuff. We'll talk about that in a while. But very importantly, what would be the most important steps that one need to take in order for them to be in front, to be shining on technology online?
I think most people, Aziza, tend to think, when they think of whether it's recording a video about your business or whether it is actually going live, most people get so het up in how to do it, the technology, the lighting, the sound, the everything else. Yes, the production side is important, but far, far more important than anything else is actually you. How we connect, not staring at a camera and talking to a camera in a way that I'm so excited to be here with you here, Aziza. I'm really, really excited. And it's so exciting. No, it needs to be. Say and feel the words that you choose. Learn how to be you, but the best you that you can bring to be seen on screen, so that you can be that shining star. And remember, it's in your way. You might not be big, bubbly, high energy that you might see of me on screen half the time when I'm yee, go, 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 about excitement and events and amazing things we're doing that you'll hear about in a second. But there may be times if I'm learning, coaching or training, I bring my energy down, but it's still energized. I still allow myself to move. It is still a one-to-one conversation, talking through that camera lens to really connect to the viewer who's watching you on the other side. Because most of all, people need to like you. So if you don't bring, and if you don't bring what we call on TV the golden triangle, it's people look at your eyes and your mouth. So fill the screen. Never be afraid to step up and to bring smile. If you're used to speaking with lots of people or speaking, even if you're not used to speaking on stage, when we're connecting with people, we have eye contact. But if on camera, I keep looking at you on the screen or looking at myself on the screen, I'm now not actually talking through to you. So we need to be aware, glasses up if you're wearing glasses, hair away ideally from the eyes, and really have that feeling that you're having a lovely one-to-one conversation. I'm imagining you, while I'm talking to the camera, I'm actually imagining as these as beautiful as I see right there, but actually just behind the camera, so that I can really feel that you and I are in the same room and actually talking to each other. And that's the beauty of doing this live, because we save editing time and we actually are talking to each other properly.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds very simple, but it takes a lot of practice. You know, I've been.
Well, I think. Yes, sorry, Aziz. I think on that is that that's what people actually need to realise, is that if you bring the best you and the you that, think of the person that you talk to who always goes, oh my God, you're so fascinating. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Oh my God, you're a shining light in the world. Who is that person? And think of them being behind the camera lens. Because when you simply come on here with the attitude, shift that mindset that this is difficult. Shift out, pull out that mindset that this is hard. You simply can set up with a very simple camera and light behind you that gives you light on your face, or by a window.
Yeah.
Rather than the window behind you with light behind you, because what happens with light behind you?
Yeah.
This kind of thing happening. But if you have light on your face so people can see you, a good microphone so people can hear you. Very simply, with a laptop you can set up and start sharing your story, but share it for real rather than trying to present and trying to be excited on screen. because that's not real. But
Yeah.
people spot it, and if they don't like you, they're not going to connect with you, and they're not going to get involved. This is interaction. This is all about interaction.
Yes, absolutely. I think that is a fabulous advice you have. And I think there's, you mentioned about the presentation contacts as well as technology contacts. There's a lot of blocks that people can, remove. And you do that work a lot, right? Do you want to share that?
Yeah, I actually have a show live every Friday at 1:30 UK time, so 1:30 GMT. So I think usually in Malaysia that's about 8:30 or 9:30 in Singapore time, and I interview people like yourself, like you're doing right here. I go live and I give tips on the visual impact, what colors, how to dress to be on screen. I've got how to do the lighting, the technology, and then I spend a lot of time about that mindset. Because if this isn't right and you're focusing on the fears and the worries, you're going to look stiff on camera, and your brain is going to be thinking about the fears and the worries, and then your voice is going to go very flat and very boring, and it's all going to be stilted, and you'll be distracting people somehow. There are things that simply work, and then there are things that distract your audience. So you're here to have people like you and to help stop with things that can irritate them, things that might annoy people on camera. Let them go and let the flow happen for you. Then it really is simple. If you're the expert in your field, you've got the message, you've got the story to share, and let people care. Share and care, not telling and selling. Sharing and caring.
Yeah.
Everybody get up.
This really, what I'm doing with Confidence on Camera really now is it's the culmination of I've been through in my life experiences of travel, of work, of jack of all trades and master of none. Well, master of many. Now I say master of many. I was lucky enough in my younger days to be an actor, and the joys of being able to travel around.
Everybody get up.
Such powerful tips she had for you. I'm sure you are definitely able to apply them in your business, in your presentations. Most of all, when you are in front of the camera, you will be able to create that impact for yourself and the people that you're connecting with. If you notice, I have been practicing that, and many a time I catch myself not looking at the camera and probably looking down and stuff like that. So it's a very conscious effort we need to make, and I'm so glad that we have Lottie to support us in the journey, and I'm so glad that she's part of one of the co-authors of our book. And in episode 9, this is the final episode that I'm going to present to you this way. And in the last episode 10, we are doing live telecasts from the book launch itself. Extremely excited that we are able to present our 30 co-authors together with our founder, Dr. A.R. Ramesh Nambiar, and we're very grateful for our mentor Dame DC Cordova for her forward. As many of you know, the Money and You program and the Accelerated Business Schools from USA have a very strong foothold in Singapore, and through Singapore they have branched out to quite a lot of countries, impacting people in Asia. So I'm so excited that we are able to present this Shining Red Dot show and the book to you with these amazing authors that we are so grateful for their contribution, their heart, as well as their support in making this happen. So as we always say, it is the power of us growing our business in 3 areas: entrepreneurship, education, connection, and funding, that gets us to a whole new level of clarity as well as strength and confidence.
Uncover dynamic secrets to flourish your dream business globally.
So we look forward to you connecting with us and being service to you. So now let's move on with the final segment, which is the quiz segment. In the quiz segment today, our question for you is, Art Ramesh mentions a country to be the first to go when we decide to go global. What country is that? Bart Ramesh, in his segments, and I have mentioned that too, when we say we want you to go global, what country do we mention as go global first? So let's write that answer down, and together with that answer, you have to answer just 5 questions. Put it into an email to us on the email below, and you stand to win attractive prizes of ebooks, consultations from our global team. We really want to thank you for joining us in these 9 episodes, and don't forget to tune in at 7:30 tomorrow, 30th of August, tomorrow Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on this channel on growyourbusiness.asia/shining red dot. And you will get to have live telecast of our Shining Red Dot book. This book is an interactive, inspirational resource book that we know that has got some powerful information, tips, tools, and strategies. Pre-order the book. The hard copy special edition is very limited, so you can get your copy by leaving your name and contact number on this website. Thank you once again so much for staying on in these 9 episodes, and we really know and believe in our heart that we have done our best to give you what we have, and we look forward to having your feedback in improving our future shows. And most of all, thank you so much for joining in the celebration of our nation. And this is really a very, very important milestone for all of us, using Singapore as the hub, the shining red dot to go global. So here is to our nation, celebrating our nation, celebrating our business community. Signing off, Aziza Jalaluddin.
By step, together we'll build our dreams. Heart to heart, together we'll stay as one nation, undivided. Back to back, together we'll brave the heat, the cold, the storms. Hand in hand, together we'll grow this land that we call home.